Do you ever think about the food you eat? What field, greenhouse, tree, or ocean it comes from? How it was processed, manufactured, or transported? Who made sure it got to your plate safely?
I try my best to try and buy like local stuff that's, grown close to us as much as I can, but with the prices these days, it's not always an option.
I think Canada has some pretty good regulations around beef and, the egg board and the cheeses and the dairy. All those regulations, I think, make good products for us.
I want everyone in Canada to be able to get that level of food quality despite the amount you're paying.
Every time I go to the grocery store, I'm pissed off about how disconnected I am from where my food comes from.
Modern farmers are doing very different things and are learning and developing new systems that I think it's going to make a huge difference for Canada.
This docuseries is about Canada's food system, our food, our future. It explores the backstory to where your food comes from. You'll hear from the people who grow, raise, catch, make, move, and serve our food. And you'll learn how the process of getting food to your family is all rooted in innovation. Here's a taste of what you'll hear.
I want Canadians to embrace their food with trust.
We make sure that the plants get everything it needs to grow up as healthy as possible, and healthy plant translates into healthy food.
Like people say to me, how do you keep doing this? I said, because I know in my heart of hearts, this is the right thing to do. Canada needs salmon farming.
Farmers didn't do a good job of telling people what we were doing. And now we realize that we need to be more vocal about it. We need to be telling our story.
In this first episode, we begin in the very heart of our food supply, a field in Saskatchewan. Here, we delve into the rich generational knowledge share between father and son on the farm, highlighting how this enduring bond not only honors tradition, but also enhances innovation. Together, they show how the wisdom of the past can combine with modern practices to cultivate a brighter future for agriculture and our food.
From as long as I can remember driving a tractor, once I could reach the clutch pedal. So, yep, been doing it a long time.
Bill Prybylski is a proud fourth-generation farmer in East Central Saskatchewan. On this warm spring day in mid-May, the air is charged with excitement of planting season. Bill's son, brother, and nephew are in a race against Mother Nature to get 16,000 acres of grain, oilseeds, and pulses planted before it rains.
The basics are the same. We still put the seed in the ground in the spring, we tend to the crop all year, and we harvest it in the fall. It's just how we do it has changed very dramatically.
Farming in Canada has undergone a remarkable evolution, with innovation as the driving force behind its transformation.
We're seeding now probably about 1,000 acres a day, whereas back when I was a kid, if my dad seeded 50 or 60 acres a day, he was thinking he did a pretty good day.
How much has farming changed in terms of the technology and innovation we have now since you were a kid?
That certainly would be the biggest changes, the amount of technology and the type of technology, from picking stones by hand as a kid for most of the summer to the technology that exists in the equipment now is just a world of difference. The auto steer, the global positioning systems used for guidance, the sectional controls on the sprayers, the variable rate technology. Every piece of equipment now has some sort of technology in it that didn't exist even 20 years ago. So it's a complete revolution in terms of the type of equipment that we use and the technology that's involved in it.
Technology in farming is really no different from the advancements we experience in other aspects of our lives in surprisingly similar ways. Just as you depend on the GPS system in your car for precise navigation, modern tractors utilize GPS technology to enhance planting and harvesting accuracy. One of the most transformative changes in farming ramped up in the late 1990s, coinciding with significant advancements in technology. Precision farming, which does exactly as its name suggests, enables farmers to operate with remarkable accuracy. Utilizing innovations like drones, GPS, and sensors on equipment, farmers are now seeing stronger yields, making agriculture more efficient and sustainable. On Bill's farm, variable rate technology, a method that allows for more effective planting and application of fertilizer and pesticides, is critical. Rather than applying a uniform amount of product across the field, often more than what is needed, farmers now rely on a customized prescription programmed into the drill. This technology ensures each area of soil gets exactly what it needs, no more, no less, resulting in optimal growth. The benefits are significant: healthier land, robust crops, a cleaner environment, and improved profitability for the farmer.
So this is where our variable rate technology really comes in handy, because like down in this area, it's quite fertile, it doesn't need as much fertilizer. So the drill knows that there's more nutrients in the soil here because of our agronomist will have put a prescription into the system. And then as it goes across the field, it's increasing the amount of fertilizer being applied as it goes up higher up on the hill here.
It's literally treating every section of the field for what it needs.
Yep, exactly. Based on our soil tests.
Yeah.
And to make sure that seeded plant has the best chance of strong growth, they too have undergone change.
Over the years, we've learned to adapt not only what we do on the farm, but the seed varieties are much more able to adapt to lack of water or excess water or disease pressures, those types of things, where the technology that's going into the seed has been able to mitigate a lot of those challenges.
Farmers have also integrated many of the technology tools we use in our everyday lives for their livestock too. Cows are naturally sensitive animals, and the presence of a human can make them feel stressed during the birthing process.
They like to be quiet, and if you come into an area where they're calving and disturb them, that just kind of interrupts that whole birthing process. So we've installed cameras, one up on top of the barn there and one inside the barn, so we can monitor the progress of the cow that is calving without actually disturbing her. She can be there quietly thinking she's all by herself, and we can still keep an eye on the process and intervene when we need to, but leave her do her thing for the most part.
Bill candidly admits embracing new agricultural practices that were not yet around when he started farming hasn't always come easy to him. So he leans on his son, who plays a pivotal role on the farm.
My name's Neil Prybylski, fifth generation farmer. Farm with my dad.
Like his dad, Neil has been farming for as long as he could reach the pedals of the tractor too.
Yeah, right from as soon as I could sit behind the wheel pretty well.
Was farming always in the cards for you?
Yeah. Always growing up, it was like just being out with dad in the field, and that was always something that I aspired to do. Just seeing how they steward the land so well, I thought that's something pretty cool that I think it'd be cool to carry on that legacy with the farm.
As Neil looks out to the field that he has just planted, he remarks on how much has changed.
Very much, yeah. Like it's a totally different ball game, I would say. Like for example, everything we're using now, it's all technology. There's not a whole lot of manual and mechanical. It's all technology. Like it's come a long way. Even just in the years that I've been farming, from what it was to what it is now, it's a big difference. And yes, it's just the efficiencies that it makes with the technology is massive.
Does that come easy to you?
Not easy, but there's a learning curve.
Definitely easier than it comes for me.
Yeah, I've known most of this technology for while it's been around, so I'm pretty familiar with it as it's coming out. But it's definitely a learning curve. Like there's lots of variations of different things that are going on. So
Do you find yourself teaching your dad things?
once in a while. Yeah. He knows lots of the roots of farming, like what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, how it needs to be done. And with the technology side, we kind of work hand in hand to make all those factors work together.
You know, my son spent hours with me in the tractor, just sitting there watching what we're doing, and I, tried to impart to him why we're doing the stuff that we're doing, and now it's kind of come full circle where, the technology and the equipment is quite complex, but it just comes natural to these guys. Like they're in their 20s and 30s now, and they programming this equipment so that it does what it's supposed to do just seems to come natural to them, and they have to explain it to me, well, once or twice a year. Call Neil Prybylski.
I didn't get that. You can say AM, FM, US.
There was a time when farmers actually actively discouraged their kids from taking over the farm because financially it just didn't make a lot of sense. I think that has changed somewhat. The ability to make a good living and have that work-life balance has changed to the point where farming has become quite attractive. There's still going to be lots of financial challenges. There's the weather challenges and government regulation and trade and all those things that are going to affect the day-to-day decisions. So it's not easy, certainly by any means, but there's definitely opportunity.
What made it so that there was a shift where farmers now are not discouraging their kids, but their kids are seeing it as an opportunity and a career?
I think the advancements in technology has certainly helped, where we almost need these kids that understand the computer sciences and the technology that's needed. So it's that it's not as hard physically anymore. There still is a certain amount of physical labor, but it's not like it used to be. And then that ability to have that work-life balance where we can get the crop in the ground and still be home at night for supper. Whereas I remember years ago, like, you work till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, grab a couple hours of sleep, and get back at her as soon as the sun was up. We don't necessarily have to do that anymore. But I think probably the biggest advantage to all the improvements in technology is the reduced stress load on producers. We have a million things that we're worried about, and if we have to concentrate on steering the tractor in a straight line and not overlapping and those types of things, whereas technology can do that for us, so we can be concentrating on making sure the equipment is running properly and that all the gauges are showing that things are operating as they should be. It's just reduced the stress level immensely.
And the physical labor, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're no more picking stones by hand.
There's no doubt today's farming operations are seeing a vital generational knowledge share with fresh perspectives and innovative solutions from millennials like Neil.
Most of this technology
Bill and Neil agree. Modern technology is not hindering the traditional farm or how it produces the food you consume. It's quite the contrary.
No, if anything, I would say it adds to it, because we're doing everything we possibly can to make sure that seed that we put in the ground has the best chance of growing to be the healthiest, strongest plant it can be. So, and same with the cattle. It's any piece of technology that we can use to benefit the animal, the crop, whatever it is worth every penny.
Yeah, and further to that, like I mentioned earlier, we soil test every field every fall. So, it's not a cheap undergoing. Like our agrologist's bill is somewhere in the neighborhood of $100,000 just to do that work, so that we know for sure what's in the soil, what the plant needs, and then we give it, like Neil said, we make sure that the plants get everything it needs to grow up as healthy as possible. And healthy plant translates into healthy food.
Saskatchewan is one of the cornerstones of the Canadian agricultural sector, with about 600,000 square kilometers of fertile land, growing wheat, barley, oats, canola, flax, lentils, and peas, a major contributor to Canada's food system.
Canada has a one-of-a-kind ecosystem, particularly here in Saskatchewan, that allows us to go end-to-end with respect to idea to product.
That's Dr. Stephen Webb, CEO and Executive Director at the Global Institute for Food Security in Saskatoon.
We're the only one in Canada that operates at this scale that have these technology platforms. Our sequencing capability that you saw, our engineering biology capability, our data management and analytics, cell biology, and the plant growth facility. So those are things that don't exist anywhere else.
To understand your food is to understand the science that goes into it. Scientists, often referred to as breeders, enhance seeds and plants by leveraging the natural diversity that already exists within them. The goal? To create plants that will grow stronger, provide better nutrition, and thrive in various environments, which all amount to food security. Breeders can analyze and understand the biological components more than ever before.
It's not about changing, it's about optimizing and understanding, and it's all science driven. It's all clear and transparent with how we've done this, and it is based on knowledge. So it's not witchcraft, it's not voodoo or anything like that. It's actual science.
It's the science that goes into our food.
Correct.
And in this state-of-the-art laboratory, innovation in science is leading the way.
This machine here allows us, the team, to be able to maintain strains hundreds and thousands at a time. When I was a grad student, it was done by hand.
Wow.
So
Now
you would sterilize a bunch of toothpicks and you would pick a colony and drop each one into a tube to grow. Here it's all done by robots, and the cultures are not maintained the way I had to maintain them, which would be to take a little bit and put it into a fresh one. The robots do all of that. This machine here, it's a machine that measures liquid, but it measures it at the nanoliter scale. So it's a billionth of a liter. And it moves the water and the fluid around by sound. These robots do it the same way all the time.
So
and
there's
we
a
can
consistent effort there.
Yeah. Consistent, and we can monitor it all the time.
Would the work that this machine does even have been possible before? Like manually by a human?
No, you could never have done it. It's all done by automated workflow, which again gets to quality, gets to consistency, gets to reproducibility, and high quality data back to either researchers or for breeders. It's a different type of machine like the one behind you, but it's that same automated workflow so that we can read thousands of plants or thousands of cows, and we can get that information back so they can make better decisions.
And it's not to take away jobs, the automation.
No.
You still very much need these scientists that do this work and oversee this.
Well, in fact, when we think about the staff that we hire here at GIFTS, it's the staff, it's the workforce of the future, because we need to have people, like I mentioned, Jacqueline is the automation specialist, but she also is a molecular biologist. So she brings herself that biology and the automation piece, and she has to code. So that's the skill set that represents what we need for what the future looks like.
That's Canada's food system.
That is.
Dr. Webb says a combination of innovation in the entire agricultural chain has put Canada on the map as a leader when it comes to producing the most sustainable crops. A 2022 study by the Global Institute for Food Security and the University of Saskatchewan analyzed the carbon footprint of 5 Canadian crops: canola, non-durum wheat, field peas, durum wheat, and lentils, and compared their emissions, including supply chain impacts, to major exporting regions like Australia, France, Germany, Italy, and the United States. The findings indicate Saskatchewan and Western Canada have the lowest greenhouse gas emissions among the regions studied.
Saskatchewan wheat in particular can be shipped 3.5 times around the world before it equals the carbon footprint of wheat produced in Germany.
And is that because of the carbon footprint in producing it at home is so low?
It's the whole value,
entire
value chain, but the biggest contribution is the innovations that have taken place on the farm.
Everything from the no-till system to crop rotation, these innovations on Canadian farms have lowered our carbon footprint, as well as making our food supply safer.
So when you think about the safety of our food, it's actually innovation that's making it more safe. It's technology that's making it more safe. How many tons of pesticide have been removed from the environment because of innovation? Tons and tons of pesticide have been removed from the environment because of innovations like genetically modified crops. Canadian farmers have been successful producing some of the most sustainable food in the world because of innovation.
Back at Bill's farm, planting season is just about done. With a sense of pride and optimism, Bill and Neil reflect on their hard work.
As a producer, we take a lot of pride in what we do. The fact that we're able to produce what the world wants. We know that we're growing crops that are seen around the world as being of the highest quality available. And obviously, again, we take a lot of pride in that.
I think we all know as farmers that we're trying to do the best we can with the land that we have. I think I really look forward to everybody getting to know that. I think it's gotten a bit of a bad rap for a long time, so that's something that I think I really want to strive for and look forward to, is just making sure everybody knows like how things are working out here, how hard everybody's working for the food that we're providing for them.
What are the conversations around the dinner table like? Do you get to ever not talk farming, or is it always farming between you?
The problem, other than farming, is he's an Oilers fan. I have a problem with that. And he drives a Dodge truck.
Yep.
In case you're wondering, Bill is a fan of the Calgary Flames and drives a Ford. In the next episode of Canada's Food System, Our Food, Our Future.
In here, we've heard very little mooing. That's actually a great sign. A cow mooing is a cow that wants something.
A closer look at the innovations that have transformed Canada's food system and how it impacts the food you eat. If you'd like more information, log on to our website, canadasfoodsystem.ca. This has been a Spark Advocacy production for the Canada's Food System Initiative.